I'm going to trust I have a live Uni idea. Alright, so let's start over again. Okay, so what my aim is to do is for today is to set up a Mac emulator called PCE. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, let's go over to, first of all, we're going to find this page that I had already, then emulator. Maybe that'll come up. Alright, this will take me over there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the source code for this PC emulator. I'm going to use git to clone it. And I'm going to do it as a regular user. Now we'll just start over again. Why not? Still going here? I'm going to check it every 2 seconds. Alright, so I'm going to paste in the git command. If you don't have git, you just download the zip file. Things will be a little bit different, and I'll tell you how to handle the problems that you would have if you download this source. Into Linux and Windows, you're going to have to set up Sidewind to even try to compile this, as far as I know. I mean, you may be able to do it with Microsoft's tools, but I have no expertise in that, so I can't provide you any instruction. Getting Sidewind to work is an install. You have to go to the Sidewind site. And you have to download the setup. Then you have to use their package manager to install make and GCC and probably automake. So you'll be able to actually run the command that'll run after I do the git clone, which is the equivalent of downloading the zip file from here. Alright, so I've downloaded the source code. Now I'm going to change directories into there. Now I'm going to type configure, and I'm going to use /with /SDLs if we're all one word. Which means if you're in Sidewind, you need to have the SDL package installed. Okay, so the configure part is done. Now, the next one's going to be make. If you have any problems with running make, because you downloaded the source from the zip file, just know that if it's looking for SDL.h and it can't find it, you may have to append an SDL in front of this here, or an SDL2. So what will happen is it'll go like this, and it'll stop and say error in, and it'll tell you the name of the file, and one of them will be SDL.c. It'll tell you the line number. So you can open it up and you can view line numbers. Of course, this is in Linux, you know. Oh, line 28, this doesn't exist. Yes, everything's relative to headers are all relative to this user include directory. So if it just says SDL.h, that means the system expects a file called SDL.h to be in this directory somewhere down here. Just like it expects config.h to be there. Or standard input output right there. Okay, also for this to work, it expects to have a folder named drivers, video, and terminal.h. But I guess that would probably be amongst the source that I just downloaded. Terminal.h. So if it's not here, it expects it to be in user include. If it's not there, that means you need to install a package, something like SDL development or something like that. Okay. So, so now you've done the. Let's see what I just did make. Now I have to be root, the administrator, make install. Okay, that puts all the files into place. It does include some ROMs, which include, I believe, but not everything you're going to need to run this. There's some other files to download from this page, and since right now I'm doing the Macintosh Plus, I can find it again. You download this file, and you have to remember where you downloaded it and unzipped and placed your stuff. And I'm just going to download it here. That should be in my home directory now. Oh, that's just the ROM. Okay. If you had this, get this one, Mac Plus, this thing. Yeah, you need all this stuff. So we're going to unzip this. And I didn't want it to do that. Alright, so we're going to actually delete this stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a folder called Mac. What happened to it? Let's download it again. Done downloading, okay. And we'll extract it here. You have to remember the name of this thing that you used. Now you can get rid of this thing. So I've compiled from source. I've made sure I had sound. And now I have the working system. I just need to make sure my config files are right. And so now I'm actually going to have to be root. I need to edit a file that's in my system, which is the administrator. User. Local, user, local, etc. Okay. Now I cheated. I saved this thing. Well, I'm going to keep that. Okay. Get rid of this thing. Okay, so this. keywrite, and I already have this set up the way I want it. I want to make sure that I have a directory called HomeJack Mac ROM, and in that I have a file. It's called mac/plus.rom. So if yours doesn't say that, change it and make sure that the path up here points to where it actually is. This is the path. HomeJack, that's the path. HomeJack, that's where the file goes, and the name is mac+rom.rom. The next thing that you need is to make the screen be of a reasonable size. So, and then we have to set up the disks. Down here where it says SD, you're going to look for SDL. I changed the scale to 2 and the aspect ratio 5:3. Otherwise, it would come out a lot smaller. Lastly, I had to say what drives I wanted to use. Now I happen to have a copy of Claris available. I'll use Claris 3. These are 4 disks. I'm going to copy I'm going to create a folder called Claris. I'm going to place the 4 files in there. I'm also going to copy this and call this HD3 because the system he provides doesn't have enough disk space to install Claris, so you actually have to wipe disk 3 out once you boot up. And those should be in HomeJack Mac. So you gotta make sure things match up. These are the hard disks, or wherever, whatever your username is. Put it in the same place, same name, capitalization matters, everything matters. It's going to be spelled exactly the same way. I added this 130 here. No, actually I didn't. It came with the whole thing. Excuse me. When you download that ROM pack, it comes with HD 1 and 2. The Claris disks, if you want to get those, you have to get them. You have to search the net for like abandonware and Claris works. You get it from here. I think I went with ClarisWorks 3. Just make sure you get the one for Mac. And I have it on, these are called, I guess they're 3.5-inch floppies or whatever. Alright, so once you have everything in place, you're just about ready to go. least I think I am. So let's try it out. Now the command to run, and you could first try this out in the terminal. And of course, because the documentation doesn't actually say what the command is. So I'm going to just go Mac plus minus V minus C, then you point to where your config file is, which again was a user local etc PCE Mac plus PCE Mac plus config, and then by the L says make a log file. I don't know what the R does, but I found it necessary so far, and you test it out, and there you go. Welcome to Macintosh. Okay, this is labeled HD2. You can, when you get out of this area, you just right-click on the mouse, and your mouse is released. And I'm going to change that to HD3, if it doesn't give me too much problems. These mount kind of slowly, so you can change that in one of the settings, but God. Now you have to erase that disk, and I guess I'm fine with it just being called HD. Alright, so now let's do ClarisWorks. Alright, and if all four of them are mounted, it'll ask you to restart. For some reason, I don't know why, you have to wait for all four of those floppies to load up. Alright, so there we are. And you have ClarisWorks. Printing, I've not been able to get to work yet, which is kind of important. I don't know what the settings that you need to do that, actually. And you can shut this down. Once you need to release, right-click, close your box. You can make an icon, and then that's the command line you put in there, of course, if you have KD3. If you don't, it might be a little more difficult to do that. Okay, let's do one other thing that got some honorable mention recently that I should demonstrate is available. And the DOSBox can be made to set up to take up more space. I haven't messed with it yet, or more screen size. There's a full screen setting. DOSBox is its own thing, and I think I've done a presentation on it recently to get it to work in a basic way. You basically put all your program files in a folder called DOSProgs here, and it doesn't print, but there is a version out there that's been patched that someone else distributes that will print, not for the purposes of this game, but purposes for other stuff. So got this from an abandonware site. I think it's, I've got to figure out what the command is to get this SVR, I think. The mouse will work, but it's hard to get control of your mouse back once you've started. As I'm moving the mouse, nothing's happening right now. Now, I absolutely suck at this game, but I'm just going to show that it can work. And DOSBox will run in Windows and Linux and all sorts of other things. So if you have this game sitting around, if you can figure out how to get the contents off the floppies and into the C drive, you're in good shape. I'm going to get out because I suck at the game. And I'm probably going to end here since I can get back to the DOS prompt. You can speed this up. There are settings for DOS to get the thing to load faster. When you get out, just type exit. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that one. I think I'll end this one right now.